Alaikum everyone.
Walaikum Salam, ma'am. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Quote of the day: Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. Today, the topic of my presentation is teaching methods and in-service training. Learning outlines of my presentation will be introduction to teaching methods, teaching theories, in-service training, recent advances, and MCQs in the end. Learning outcomes. At the end of this presentation, participants will be able to describe teaching methods and different theories and also in service training. Teaching. Teaching methods is the stimulation, guidance, direction, and encouragement for learning. It comprises the principles used by teachers to enable student learning. It is a systematic way of doing something. It implies an orderly, logical arrangement of steps. It is more procedural. Teaching method refers to the general principles, pedagogy, and management strategies used for classroom instruction. Choice of teaching method depends on what fits you, your educational philosophy, classroom demographic, subject areas, and school mission statement. This is the classification of teaching methods. It can be classified as teacher-centered, in which lecture, demonstration, team teaching comes, and then pupil-centered, in which is inside the class, and it includes project, assignment, discussion. Then pupil-centered, socialized classroom techniques, then use of instructional technology. Teaching strategies classification. It includes teacher control teaching like autocratic teaching, then comes interactive procedure of teaching, then comes learning control teaching, group control teaching, and then clinical teaching methods. In teacher control teaching, we have lecture methods, demonstration methods, lecture demonstration, team teaching methods, individualized instruction, historical. On lecture. Lecture method is an oral presentation of information by the instructor. This is one of the example of teacher control teaching, that is demonstration method. Then the second method is interactive procedure of teaching, in which we have interactive procedure, group discussion, tutorial method, seminar, panel, symposium. Discussion method, it involves two-way communication between participants. Symposium. It is a series of prepared speeches given by 2 to 5 experts on various aspects of a problem under a chairman. It is a short talk and to the point, and it consists of 10 to 25 minutes, and it is in this audience is passive and no discussion between speakers take place. Then comes panel discussion. In this, a group of 4 or more persons are there and under a moderator, and they sit at a table in front of audience, as we can see in this picture. And panel discussion holds on orderly and logical conversation on a assigned topic, and each member makes a short statement, usually of 5 minutes, before exchanging ideas. The common thing between symposium panel discussion is both of the cases subjects first meet on table, they make their statements, audience is mute, and the difference is speakers have long speeches in symposium, that is usually 20 to 25 minutes, while in panel discussion it is of short duration, that is of 5 minutes. In symposium there is no exchange of ideas and moderator sums up, while in panel discussion there are exchange of ideas and there are moderator, and finally a conclusion arrives. Then comes group discussion. In this, there is a small group of usually 15 to 20 people, and face-to-face mutual interchange of ideas take place, and there's more than random unstructured conversation, and it has a method and structure, but can be informal and democratic, and a problem to be solved, decisions to be made in this group discussion. Then comes seminar and group discussion. And the common thing is that both of the cases learner teachers meet on round table for face-to-face interaction. They carry on discussion and there is no audience. And the difference between seminar and group discussion is in seminar, one expert is present, directs, conducts the activities in structured way, while in group discussion, unstructured, informal discussion, usually themed to solve a problem. In seminar, participants seek clarification from the expert, while in group discussion, participant finds out clarification from resources available. Then the third method is learning control teaching, which includes program instruction, self-directed learning, library methods, computer-assisted instruction, laboratory methods, assignments. Fourth is group control teaching, in which we have project methods, simulation instruction, field work, surveys, workshop, problem-based learning, role-play, narrative, storytelling, model building, bus sessions. Traditional learning is told what we need to know, and in this then we memorize it and the problem assigned to illustrate how to use it. While in problem based learning, problem is assigned and identifies what we need to know and then learn and apply to solve the problem. The stages of problem based learning are: first is problem scenario, second is identify key facts and brainstorm missing information, self directed learning, assimilate the new knowledge, apply the information, and in the end analyze the results. Then in group control teaching, we have buzz groups, presentations, workshops, fishbowl. In fishbowl, students in the fishbowl discuss the topic or reading at hand, while the students outside the fishbowl observe and reflect on the discussion. Then we have horseshoe groups, peer assisted learning, in which peer is the reader and also peer is the coach, both have to do both the jobs. Then we have brainstorming, in which a group discussion to solve a problem or get ideas with creative comments and encouragement. Then comes project. It is a significant practical unit of activity having educational value. Then fifth method is clinical teaching methods. In this, we have case-based learning. First, a case is presented or established. The case is analyzed by the group, brainstorming in the group, then formulating learning objective, and self-directed learning and dissemination of new findings in the group. Then group share results, and in the end, identifying the areas to integrate in clinical practice. Teaching methods for skill. In this, we have demonstration, clinical skill teaching, skill labs. Then we have teaching in a busy OPD. In this, we go like this, that we summarize the case, narrow the differential diagnosis, analyze the differentials, probe the perceptive uncertainties, plan patient management, and select case-related issues for self-study. And as we already know that in COVID-19 pandemic, there has been more stress on e-learning or online teaching, which can be synchronous or asynchronous. In synchronous teaching, there is teaching or learning of the same thing at the same time, while in asynchronous method we have teaching or learning of the same thing but at different times. Teaching theories. Teaching theories can be organized into four categories based on two major parameters: a teacher-centered approach versus a student-centered approach. Second is high-tech material use versus low-technology material use. So these are the four methods: high technology and teacher-centered, high technology student-centered, low technology teacher-centered, and low technology student-centered. Now we'll discuss each one by one. Teacher-centered approach to learning. In this, teachers are the main authority figure. Students are viewed as empty vessels who passively receive knowledge from their teachers through lectures and direct instruction. Student learning is measured through objectively scored tests and assessments. Student-centered approach to learning. In this, teachers are still an authority figure in a student-centered model, but teachers and students play an equally active role in the learning process. The teacher's primary role is to coach and facilitate students' learning. Teaching and assessment are connected because student learning is continuously measured during teacher instruction. High technology approach to learning. This approach utilizes different technology to aid students in their classroom learning. For example, laptops, tablets, tablets, gamification software, education-focused social media platforms. And fourth is low technology approach to learning. Some learning styles require a physical presence and interaction between the educator and the student. Example, kinesthetic learning, in which they have a need for movement when learning. Teachers should allow students to move around, speak with hands and gestures. Then comes experiential learning, which involves learning by doing and participating in a hands-on experience. So in teacher-centered and high technology approach, we have an example of flipped classroom, which we'll discuss ahead. And in low technology approach, we have direct instruction, kinesthetic learning. While in student-centered and high technology approach, we have personalized learning, game-based learning, inquiry-based learning. While in student-centered low technology approach, we have experientially learning and differentiated instruction. Now, first is teacher-centered methods of instruction. For direct instruction, that is using low technology. In this, direct instruction is the general term that refers to the traditional teaching strategy that relies on explicit teaching through lectures and teacher-led demonstrations. In this method of instruction, the teacher might play one or all of the following roles. First is formal authority. In this formal authority, teachers are in position of power and authority because of their exemplary knowledge and status over students. Then expert teachers are in possession of all knowledge and expertise within classroom. Their primary role is to guide their students, and the students are viewed solely as primary receptors of knowledge, like that is empty vessels. And then comes personal model. In this model, students learn through observing and copying the teacher's process. Second is flipped classroom. The idea of the flipped classroom began in 2007 when two teachers began using software that would let them record their live lectures. By the next school year, they were implementing pre-recorded lectures and sharing the idea of what became known as the flipped classroom. It describes a teaching strategy that has students watching pre-recorded lessons at home and completing in-class assignments as opposed to hearing lectures in class and doing homework at home. So these are chiefly teacher-centered. Then comes kinesthetic learning, that is using low technology, sometimes known as tactile learning or hands-on learning. Kinesthetic learning requiring students to do, make, or create. In this, students perform physical activities rather than listening to lectures or watch demonstrations. Hands-on experiences, drawing, role play, building, and the use of drama and sports are all examples of kinesthetic classroom activity. Then comes student-centered methods of instruction. First is differentiated instruction, low technology. In this, differentiated instruction is the teaching practice of tailoring instruction to meet individual student needs. The individualized education program that started under IDEA helped classroom teachers differentiate for students with special needs. Today, differentiated instruction is used to meet the needs of all types of learners. It is mostly planned and implemented by the teacher. Then comes inquiry-based learning, high-tech. Based on student investigation, hands-on projects, inquiry-based learning is a teaching method that casts a teacher as a supportive figure who provides a guidance and support for students throughout their learning process rather than a sole authority figure. In this method of instruction, the teacher might play one or all of the following roles. Facilitator. In facilitator role, the students are loosely guided by, student learning is loosely guided by a teacher. In personal model, in this model, teachers demonstrate students how to access and comprehend information. And in delegator role, teachers play passive role, acting as a resource to students, ensuring questions, answering questions, and reviewing their progress as needed. Then comes experiential learning, high tech. Experiential learning is based on the ideas of the educator who founded a form of project based learning in which students go on expeditions and engage in depth study of topics that impact their schools and communities. Technology and internet access can aid student research, presentation, and implementation of projects. Then comes personalized learning, high tech. Students' self direction and choice in the curriculum are hallmarks of personalized learning. Personalized learning is extremely student centered, but teachers are required to teach lessons, look at frequent assessment data, and meet with students to make any necessary changes to their learning plans. Game-based learning. Game-based learning comes from the desire to engage students in more active learning in the classroom. Now, this is the learning pyramid, which shows the different teaching methods that have impact on average student retention rates. Lecture has the least average student retention rate with 5%. Then comes reading, audio, visual demonstration, discussion, practice doing, and teaching others. Teaching others has the maximum average student retention rate, that is 90%. Educational taxonomy. Most educators are now using what is called an educational taxonomy or hierarchy to guide their teaching, the most popular of which are Bloom's taxonomy and understanding by design. According to it, at the top of the taxonomy, they create, that is produce new or original work, then comes evaluate, justify, or stand or decision, then draw connections among ideas, that is to analyze, apply, use information, new situation, then comes understand, explain ideas or concepts, remember, that is recalling facts and basic concepts. Miller's pyramid. Miller's pyramid of competency relation to performance, according to it, first from taking from the base to the top, that is fact gathering, interpretation, demonstration of learning, performance integrated into practice. And we have Miller's prism of clinical competence. In this, at the top is if we talk taking from the bottom, one of the lowest level is that is fact gathering or knowledge, which is tested by written exams and MCQs. Then the next level is knows how, that is application of the knowledge, which is assessed by clinical problem solving exercises. Then the third tier of this pyramid represents a demonstration of learning or clinical skill competency, which is assessed by simulation and clinical exams. Then on the top is does, that is performance integrated into practice, or we can say clinical performance, which is assessed by direct observation in real clinical settings. Now moving on to our second topic of the presentation, in service training. Human resource development. It is the process of developing the human resource working in an organization by modernizing their knowledge and upgrading their skills. It is done by training and development, organizational development, and career development. Training. It is the formal and systematic modification of behavior through learning. It is short-term process specific to job-related problems. Need for training. The needs are change in working method, installation of new equipment or technique, upgradation of some employees, reduce constant supervision, improves quality, increases efficacy. Advantages of training: improve the job knowledge at all levels of organization. It improves the morale of workforce. It helps people to develop organizational goals, improve the relationship between boss and subordinate, make the organization profitable, learns from the training. Disadvantages of training: it could be financial drain or resources, employees take away from their job for varying periods of time, staff leave for better job. Goals of human resource management: it is right number of people with right skills at right place at right time with right attitude, doing right work at right cost with right work output. Human resource management process. It includes human resource planning, training, performance management system. Approaches to assess future needs of human resource. Human resource demand estimation is done by quantitative approach and qualitative approach. Quantitative approaches include need-based approach, demand-based approach, worker to population ratio, service targets approach. Qualitative estimation, performance appraisal, that is how is humans performance in different circumstances. Main approaches are trait-based, based on behavioral competencies, and 360-degree feedback. Second is training needs assessment. If deficient performance found, how design appropriate solution. Main approaches are by customer feedback, by employees, review recent publications. These are the different training needs analysis tools. These are questionnaires, observation, interviews, examining work, assessments, competitive analysis. Training needs assessment. Training needs assessment use performance or gap analysis, tells what training is required, what job description is required, and analyze work environment. These are the 9 steps of training need analysis. First is determine desired outcome, then link desired outcomes with employee behavior, then identify trainable competencies, evaluate competencies and determine gaps, prioritize training needs, determine training method, conduct cost benefit analysis, report analysis and findings, plan for training evaluation. Human resource training types. These are of two types: general training and second is according to period of training. In general training, it includes communication skills or specific training, and according to period of training, this could be pre-service or in-service or continuous. Training methods. These are on-job, internship, job rotation, mentoring and coach, experimental exercises, workbooks, lectures, workshops, conferences, grand rounds, teleconferencing, e-learning. On job training, methods by which employees are given hands-on experience with instruction from their supervisor. Employees are trained on their actual job location. New employees observe the work and then try to imitate. Then comes job rotation. In this, workers rotate to various departments. It is a shift between jobs. It is flexible and versatile. Test employee skills, wider experience, reduce boredom, discover talents, and change to explore. Third method is apprentice training. Apprenticeship is a combination of on-the-job training and related classroom instructions under the supervision of a journey-level craft person or trade professional, in which workers learn the practical and theoretical aspects of highly skilled occupation. Advantages are that it is intense and lengthy training, typically conducted one-to-one basis. Disadvantages are length of training is determined by institute and it can't be changed for fast learner. Fourth, mentoring, a process of direct transfer of experience and knowledge from one person to another. In a workplace, a mentor would aim to provide guidance and direction to a mentee, and mentees are usually junior level employees with similar interest. Then comes internship program. It is jointly sponsored by colleges, universities, and other organizations that offer students opportunity to gain real life experiences. It allows them to find how they will perform work in organization. Then comes lectures. Advantages are large number of training taught at one place and it is cost efficient. Disadvantages are one-way communication, lack of dialogue, question and discussion. Then comes conferences. Its advantages are it can combine lectures and discussion. If designed well, then there is a great deal of interaction. Drawback is that success really depends upon motivation and interest of training. Audiovisual. Its advantage is that it's good for capturing student interest after initial investment cost is minimal, and the drawbacks are difficult to modify and maintain record. Initial cost may be high. Now, moving on to recent updates. This is an article that why modern teaching is the need of an hour. It is the need of an hour because of its relevance in the modern era, moving from reciting and memorizing to experimenting and experiencing, and it enables a concept of innovation. The characteristics of modern teaching method should be learner-centered, task-based or activity-based, resource-based, interactive in nature, integrative in nature, and peer calibration. What are the modern teaching methods? This is a collaborative learning in which every student or a learner is a part and they help each of success of a group and they help each other to reach a desired result. Then we have spaced learning in which teachers repeat a lesson multiple times with some sort of space in between the lessons so that until the students understand entirely. Then we have flipped classroom, we have already discussed it. Then self-learning, gamification. In gamification, teaching is done through games. Then we have back teaching. We as learners divided into 3 categories, that is into visual, audio, and kinesthetic groups. Then we have crossover learning, which uses both formal and informal teaching and learning environments. This is an article on the COVID-19 pandemic has changed education forever. That this is how, as a result of COVID-19, education has changed dramatically with the distinctive rise of e-learning, whereby teaching is undertaken remotely on digital platforms. Research suggests that online learning has been shown to increase retention of information and takes less time. There has been high growth on adoption in education technology with COVID pandemic, with global edtech investment reaching US dollars 18.6 billion in 2019, and the overall market for online education projected to reach $350 billion by 2025. Whether it is language apps, virtual tutoring, video conferencing tools, or online learning software, there has been a significant surge in usage since COVID-19. Now it's time for MCQs. MCQ number 1. Choice of teaching method depends on what fits you, your educational philosophy, classroom demographic, and subject area. In which style of teaching students are passive in? Project method, discovery method, lecture method, inquiry method.
C.
Yes, C, lecture method. As we already know that the students are passive in this method. MCQ number 2. Miller's pyramid of assessment provides a framework for assessing clinical competence in medical education and can assist clinical teachers in matching learning outcomes with expectations of what the learner should be able to do at any stage. Which of the following stands on the top of the pyramid? Knowledge, application of knowledge, clinical skills competency, or clinical performance? Any idea?
C.
If we recall the pillars pyramid, no, it is D. On the top of the pillars pyramid, we have clinical performance. Then comes clinical competency. Then application of knowledge, and the end we have knowledge. MCQ number 3. In symposium, series of prepared speeches are given by 2 to 5 experts on various aspects of problem under a chairman. Symposium is a type of discovery method, discussion method, lecture method, demonstration method.
B.
Yes, it is a type of discussion method. Yes, right option is B. MCQ number 4. The learning pyramid model was developed by the National Training Laboratory. It shows that varying our study methods and materials will improve our retention and recall of information, enhance our learning experience. Which type of teaching or learning is most likely to be retained as shown by this pyramid? As we have, I presented this, sorry, I couldn't mention here. It is lectures, reading, practice doing, or teaching others.
D.
E.
Yes, yes.
C.
As a maximum retention rate, it was 90%. D is the right option, teaching others. MCQ number 5. Most educators are now using an educational taxonomy or hierarchy to guide their teaching. Which of the following is at the highest level of hierarchy? Understanding, application, evaluation, analysis.
Evaluation. C.
Yes, C is the right option. If you recall Bloom's taxonomy, it was evaluation that was on the top. MCQ number 6. Some of the high schools in UK arrange flipped classrooms in which students watch and listen pre-recorded lessons delivered by teachers at home and complete in-class assignments as opposed to hearing lecture in class and doing homework at home. Which type of teaching theory are they using? High technology teacher-centered, low-tech teacher-centered, high-tech student-centered, low-tech student-centered.
A.
Yes, right option is A. High-tech teacher-centered. It is teacher-centered because the lectures they are listening at homes are delivered by the teachers. So A is the right option. MCQ number 7. Training technique which allows trainees to solve problems and work in different departments called job rotation, action learning, lifelong learning, internship, apprentice training.
A. Job.
Yes,
Job.
right is A. Job rotation. MCQ number 8. In a meeting, group of 6 to 9 participants sit together and give an idea regarding the problem faced by the company which is critically evaluated. This process is known as brainstorming, mentoring, sensitivity training, survey feedback. Right option is A, yes, brainstorming. Because in brainstorming, people sit together and exchange their ideas regarding any specific problem. MCQ number 9. Training is formal and systematic modification of behavior through learning. It is short-term process related with specific job problems. Training most effective in resolving skill gaps, attitudinal problems, poor motivation, attendance issues.
A.
Yes, right option is A. MCQ number 10. The term which describes long-term training, which includes combination of both on job and in-class training. Of the following describe this term: mentorship, computer-based training, vestibule training, apprenticeship training.
A.
No, it is D, apprenticeship training. Yes, right option is D. Because in this, it includes both, that is on-job training as well as in-class training. This is the key of MCQs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very nice presentation, Dr. Meha. If you please go to your slide number